여러분 안녕하세요. 오랜만에 영어 콘텐츠를 들고 온 마셀다입니다. 제가 저번에 공부 안 하고 오픽 AL 받을 수 있었던 방법들에 대한 영상을 올렸었는데 그게 제가 지금까지 어떻게 영어 공부를 해왔는지에 대한 영상이고 오픽에 대한 내용을 잘 다루지 않은 것 같아가지고 주변에 오픽을 준비한 친구들도 있고 한 2년 전쯤에 AL을 받고 3달 전에 오픽을 또 봤는데 그때 또 AL을 받을 수 있었어서 이번 영상을 다시 준비해봤습니다.
현황의 녹음 시간은 90초입니다. 이제 곧 본격적으로 시험을 시작합니다. 준비되셨나요? 이제 시작합니다.
1. Tell me about yourself. 1. Tell me about yourself.
Hi Eva, nice to meet you. My name is Sujin. I'm 24 and I graduated from my university last year and I work as a graphic designer these days. I didn't want to be a designer when I was a kid, like when I was a high school student. But as I majored in design, my major is design engineering, which is really similar with product design or industrial design. Anyway, since I major in design, I started to have a lot of interest in designing things. I think I have a long way to go as a designer, but I really like it. So that was my job. And I used to live with my family before getting a job. But now I moved into which is near to Seoul. Anyway, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me today.
2. Discuss the city where you live. Explain what the city that you live in is like. What are the people like there? Describe the buildings in your city. Provide many details to explain your city.
Where I live these days is quite a new city. My parents' house is a new city as well. So, but here is much more new city. So everything is very clean, and I think there are not many people in here compared with other crowded city like Seoul or other major city in Korea. There are so many nature around here, around me. There are many mountains and there are good parks to take a walk. And because it's a new city, there are not many things to do, such as what kind of thing? Even karaoke, even the singing room is not around me, which is really sad. It's very near to Seoul, which is very big advantage. I can go wherever I want in Seoul if I take a subway. So yeah, I pretty like here.
3. What do the people in the city do on the weekends? Explain some of the special events and activities that go on in the city. Discuss the things people in the city do during the weekends.
Actually, I go to my parents' house on every weekend, so I don't know much about what people do on weekend in this area, but I think like many other cities, a lot of stores or cafe are much more crowded than weekday, And I think even market, there are a lot of people. And what else? As I heard, some of my coworker said they go to the park that I mentioned earlier to take a walk or to run by the river. I think they're on every weekend. So I think many people likes to exercise or spend time with their precious people or with family. Yeah, and I go to my home, my parents' home, and I spend time with my family as well.
4. Describe something that you did last weekend. Explain what you did, who you went with, and where the event took place. Provide details that explain something interesting that you did last weekend.
I went to my parents' house as always, and on Saturday I did nothing. I just slept on my bed. And on Sunday, I decided to lose my weight for some reason. I went to the mountain. I went to a mountain with my friend, and it was not a very high mountain. It was kind of easy going mountain. So I went there. It's been a long time since I've never hiked a mountain, but it was enjoyable. We went to a restaurant which is famous for a tofu dishes, but that was not my style at all. Except that last weekend was really good. It was energetic and enjoyable.
5. I'd like to know about the place where you live. Do you live in an apartment or a house? What does it look like? How many rooms does it have? Describe it in as much detail as possible.
I live in kind of apartment. I don't know how do you call this kind of apartment, but in Korea we call them as a officetel. I think it is the mix of office and hotel. Yeah. So the first floor to sixth floor is a lot of office, many office, a lot of workers to go there to work, and up to seventh floor is where I live. So I have just one room. It's pretty much enough to live by myself. And I have one toilet, of course. And I don't know, I can call that as call it as a kitchen. But I have a kitchen, but in the middle of the hallway. It's just a very small room, so I don't know, I can call them as a hallway or kitchen, but it is a hallway and kitchen, so I like to call them like that.
6. Compare the home you lived in before to the one you live in now. What are the differences between those two homes? Describe them in as much detail as possible.
The place where I lived before is my parents' home that I mentioned earlier, and there are, I think, 4 rooms and 1 living room and 1 kitchen and 2 bathrooms, so it is much more bigger than where I live now, obviously. And my mom cleans my apartment very often. So where I lived before is much more clean than where I live now. Yeah. Except that, not much different. I have a hot water when I take a shower. It's good. Yeah. I think there are not much different, except the size.
7. Have you ever had any problems with your home? What was your problem, and how did you deal with it? How did the problem turn out? Give me as many details as possible.
I had a lot of trouble when I first moved in here. First moved into my house. It was about 1 week after I moved in the place. It was in the middle of the night, and I was trying to hang the curtain in front of the window. And when I finished to hang the curtain, I found a cockroach. Can you imagine? It was my first time to live by myself, and I found the cockroach in the middle of the night when no one can help me. I was freaked out, and I sent a text message to my coworker who lives near my home, but he did not answer because he was sleeping, and I was almost crying. So I think I just sprayed the killer bug killer spray, but it wasn't killed, and it just disappeared. So it is not solved yet. It's a mystery where he or she gone, and I think that is the most terrible problem that I had when I live here.
8. Please describe one of the restaurants you visit frequently. What type of food does it serve? What do you like about it?
There are several restaurants that I like to go very often, but ones that came into my mind is the meat restaurant, which is located near my parents' home. That is the place where my family really likes to eat together, and they sell Korean barbecue basically, and they have another meat like beef, or they have some kind of soup or rice. I really like there because the food is really good, and the atmosphere around in there is really cozy, and it's not that noisy compared to other meat restaurants in Korea. So I really like to go there, and I think because I go there with my family a lot, I think we are very used to the store. So I think that's why I keep going there and my family. It's a good restaurant. You should visit there one day if you can. But I won't tell you the name of the restaurant because I know you can't go there.
9. Do you remember the first time you went the restaurant? How was the first impression of it? What made you like the restaurant? Tell me why you liked it.
There is no way that I can remember the restaurant that I visit first, but I think my family really like to go to the meat restaurant. We are meat lovers, so I think it will be the meat restaurant. And I was a little kid, of course, and I remember one meat restaurant that we used to go when I was young, when I was a kid. the price was much more cheaper than nowadays. And I think I like to go there because there is a small playground for kids. And I think I went there not just for it, but also play with my brother and a lot of kids who are around my age. Yeah, I think the food was nice too. That's all I can remember now.
10. When was the last time you visited a restaurant? Where did you go? Why did you go there? Who did you go with? What did you do? Please tell me about it in detail.
So the last restaurant that I visited was the place where I visit today for lunch, and I hiked with my coworkers. It was company event, and after hiking we went to a restaurant near the mountain, and they sell a lot of Korean traditional dishes. I was very tired, so I can't remember the every kind of meal they have, but what I had was a pork. We call them suyuk, which is boiled meat. I had that, and I had some noodles too, which is the cold noodle. It was good, but I was freezing cold after hiking, so I think it was not a good choice. The store was cozy. The masters at there was friendly, I think. Yeah.
11. There is a situation I would like you to act out. You are planning to travel abroad and would like to rent a car. Call a rental car agency and ask 3 to 4 questions about renting a car.
Hi, my name is Didi. I called you to book a car for my next week travel. I think we don't have much time before I go there, and I wonder if it's possible to book a car now. Yeah. Is it possible? Yeah. Thank you. Then I think I go there with my friend, so only 2 of us will go there. So I think it's okay to rent a small car. So can I ask you, what is the smallest car do you have? I think it's good. Then how much is it for one day? Oh, then I will book that, and I will go there on Monday, I think. So should I go there just without calling again, or I can go there on Monday. Okay, cool. Then see you on Monday. Yeah, thank you. Have a great day.
I am sorry that there is a problem you need to resolve. The travel agency called and told you your trip has cancelled. Call your friend, explain the situation, and offer him 2 to 3 alternatives.
Hey John, I just got a call from our travel agency and they said our trip has cancelled. I know, it's ridiculous. What should I do? We already booked a car. I think I can find another travel agency for now, but I'm not sure that I can find now or not, because we don't have a lot of time. Maybe I will find one. I will find 1 or 2 of another travel agency. So can you find 1 or 2 another travel agency as well? Yeah, and I think if it's hard to book another trip in time, I think we should change our date, and I think our car rent will be fine. We can change our date as well. It will not that expensive to change it. Yeah, I will call to the car agency to check if it's possible to change the date. So yeah, I will do that. And it's really pissed me off. So I will call back to the travel agency and I will tell them that you should never do this to us again. Yeah, don't worry too much. It'll be fine. Yeah, I will call you back later. Yeah, see ya.
That's the end of the situation. Have you ever had any difficulties while planning your trip? When was it? Where did you want to go? What happened? How did you resolve the situation? Tell me about it from the beginning to the end.
About 2 years ago, is it 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, me and my mom was planning to go to Europe for our first time. And we were very excited about it, and we were looking forward to it a lot. And it should be a good trip, but we couldn't go there because of this COVID situation, and we disappointed a lot, but there is nothing that we can do. So at that time we only booked the flight ticket. We didn't book the hotel or car or anything. I found the strategy of the flight agency, and there was a sign that I can get a refund of my flying ticket 100% if it's because of the COVID situation. I think it was 2 years ago, so I can't remember vividly, but I think it was like that. So that was okay, but we were still sad, and we will go one day.
14. I would like to know differences you think between dishes in your country and dishes from other countries. Are there any similarities as well? Compare dishes in as much detail as possible.
Nowadays you can eat every food from every country in Korea because there are many foreign restaurants in Korea. But the traditional Korean dishes are very iconic and very special compared to other country. And what I can think is overall Korean foods are quite spicy and how to say, very hot. I think we like to eat really hot food as well. So there is a static that a lot of Korean get stomach cancer a lot because we enjoy the spicy and hot dishes. So that is the differences between other countries' dishes. And the similarity is we like to eat meat like many other countries. So we like barbecue. So that is really similar with other country.
15. Have you heard about an issue on water shortage and food shortage around the world? Have you ever thought about them? Tell me your opinion about these issues in detail.
Well, in Korea there was a big event to save water, and when I grow up, I heard a lot that water shortage is lie, and as I think now, I think some countries are having the water shortage and the food shortage problem, and some are not. And I watched a documentary a couple of weeks ago, and it was not wealthy country, and a lot of people was struggling to find the food and water. When I saw that, I decided to do some work, do some move to help them. So what I want to say is some countries are definitely having the problem like that. So I think a lot of wealthy country or wealthy people can help them if they're having a trouble like that. 한 2년 만에 시험을 보니까 오픽 시험이라는 거에 대해서 거의 까먹고, 이 시험이 어떤 느낌이었더라? 에서부터 시작해서 아니 어느 정도로 하면은 오픽 AL이 나오는 거지? 이게 되게 궁금했거든요. 그 시험 자체가 혼잣말을 굉장히 많이 하는 거고, 그 영어 실력이 정말 퓨어하게 편집 없이 그대로 드러나는 건데, 그렇기 때문에 되게 민망하고 부끄럽지만 그 시험장의 분위기라든지 아니면 그 느낌? 이 정도 하면 AL 받을 수 있겠다 하는 그런 느낌을 여러분들에게 알려드리기 위해서 영상을 준비하게 됐습니다. 잘 모르겠어요. 이 답안지를 제출하면 AL이 나올지 어떨지는 잘 모르겠지만, 아무튼 전 이렇게 AL을 받아왔습니다. 여러분들 모두 오픽 준비 잘 하셔가지고 원하는 성적 받을 수 있길 응원하겠습니다. 오늘도 영상 봐주셔서 감사하고 저는 다음 영상으로 돌아오겠습니다. 감사합니다. 안녕.
Two of us were always meant to be. I know I never should have let you go.